Là récemment, je suis tombé sur une émission américaine de la chaîne TLC qui s'appelle Les Radins de l'extrême, qui en anglais se dit Extreme Cheesecake, un truc comme ça.
Salut tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez super bien. Dans la vidéo d'aujourd'hui, je vais partager avec vous 12 de mes youtubeurs préférés qui peuvent vous aider à apprendre le français ou à améliorer votre compréhension. Donc, je vais pas trop parler, on y va. This video will be split into 3 sections based on how much French you can understand, so the timestamps for all of that will be down in the description. So the first YouTube channel is going to be Inner French. And if you've been learning French for any amount of time, you probably already know this channel, but if you don't, this is a great place to start.
Depuis quelques semaines, je reçois beaucoup de messages à propos d'Arsène Lupin. Apparemment, les étrangers adorent cette série et pas seulement ceux qui apprennent le français, comme vous.
So Hugo talks about a lot of different subjects from French culture to society, etc, etc, etc. And he speaks super clearly. Honestly, he'll have you believing that you understand French 100%, okay? Because I remember I would be watching his videos and I would be like, dang, I've only been learning French for 2 weeks, but I feel like I could go to France right now and understand everything. The next YouTube channel is going to be Piece of French with Elsa. She also does a variety of content. Sometimes she'll do interviews, she does a lot of vlogs, sometimes sit-down content. And I really like her vlogs because you can learn a lot of French and vocabulary specific to whatever she might be doing that day.
Là, le verglas, c'est comme de la glace qui fait qu'on glisse. Donc il n'y a pas trop de verglas.
Next we have French Mornings with Eliza, which is a similar channel. And I especially like her series that she has called French in 3 Minutes, where she gives you just little tips and tricks that can help you improve your French. The last beginner type channel that I'm going to mention is Easy French. And this channel consists mainly of street interviews, so you really get exposed to a lot of different styles of talking, different accents, different slang terms, and every video has a different topic, and it's really quite interesting. I really recommend it. And they also have their subtitles in English and French. So now we're getting into the intermediate channels, and these channels are not meant to teach French, they're just about subjects that I like. So a lot of these channels do not have subtitles. Be prepared for that. The first channel I'm going to mention here is Bruno Maltour. Now I actually really like this channel. He talks about travel, solo travel, what is the life of a travel filmmaker. So if you're into travel or filmmaking, I really recommend this channel. Now his channel does not have subtitles, but I feel like he speaks very clearly and not like super fast. The next YouTuber is Leslina Luberto, and she also talks about travel. She's been to a lot of places actually. She's been to Colombia, a lot of countries in Latin America, as well as West Africa, and she talks about her experiences in all of those places, tips about travel. I remember she did a series on Palenque, which is a Afro-Latino city in Colombia, and it was super interesting, so I recommend checking her channel out. Okay, next we have Gregoire. I'm just gonna put the name on the screen, but his channel talks about productivity, studies, a little bit of finance here and there. He studied law actually, so he made some videos about his time in law school, how to remember everything you've ever studied, best methods to study, things like that. So if you're interested in that, I definitely recommend checking out his channel. He does talk a little quickly, but I feel like he still talks pretty clearly. Next, Laura Moonsey. Okay, so these days she makes more vlogs, but back when I used to watch her a lot more, she would make videos about her life in the United States, what she thought about the United States, how people are in the United States. And as somebody who grew up here, it's pretty interesting to see it from another perspective. And if you aren't in the United States, you might also find it interesting. And I will say she does talk very clearly and she does not talk fast at all. So this channel, I just discovered it recently because of a podcast that he started. His name is Willem. And when I was listening to this podcast, it's like a YouTube podcast, like it's a video podcast kind of, and I was listening to it and his voice is like very nice, it's very like calm and relaxing.
Et comme vous l'avez vu dans le titre de cette vidéo, aujourd'hui le thème c'est quitter les Antilles pour vivre en France.
But anyways, he speaks very clearly. I don't really think there's a need for much subtitles, which he doesn't have them, so. But anyways, this guy's from the West Indies, where Guadeloupe, Haiti, Saint Lucia, all those countries are. A lot of those countries speak French. So in this podcast episode, he was talking about how he moved from the West Indies to France. It was pretty interesting. He also talks about pop culture, things like that. But I did only watch that one video about the podcast. So if you do check out his channel, let me know what you think. Now we're getting into the advanced ones. I don't feel like they're too advanced. Like if you could understand the intermediate ones, these won't be bad at all. I just feel like they speak a little bit faster. So the first one is Crazy Sally. I really enjoy her channel actually, even though she hasn't uploaded in a little minute, but she touches on quite a few cultural issues, social issues, and she's recently started her series called The Motherland, where she goes to different countries of West Africa, or rather the French-speaking African countries, and she just shares her experience there, shares about the culture, the people. As somebody who wants to travel in the future, I've thoroughly enjoyed the episodes that she's made. Next we have Daring Tia. Now she as well talks about cultural issues, societal issues, also a little bit of current events. I feel like she does talk a bit quick, if you will, but you know, we can work up to it, it's no problem. Okay, then last but definitely not least, we have Luch, maybe?
J'ai fait des choses dont je ne suis pas fier, mais après tout, quel être humain est parfait? Nous sommes des créatures de Dieu, nous.
Now, if you want to laugh, this is the channel for you, okay? He does a lot of story times, and this one story time, guys, I don't know why, but I found this story time so funny. I'm gonna put it in the description, okay? But anyways, he does talk a little quick, I feel like, and he does use a lot of slang, but you can kind of piece together like what he's saying even if you don't know a specific word. And remember, for any of these channels, if you check them out and you watch a video and you're like, I cannot understand this, it's okay, you can come back later, because a lot of these, at one point in time, I had watched one of their videos and I was like, no, I cannot understand this. But then as a little bit of time passed, I went back and I was like, okay, so this is what they're saying, So remember, it's all a process. And then I would like to give an honorable mention to Sammy Oladito. So this is another comedy channel, and I'm just including this because it's one of my favorite channels in French. I wouldn't say it's super great to learn French because he reacts to English shows, so the videos are like half English and half French.
Mais elle compte les céréales, mais c'est un enfant ou un oiseau, madame? L'enfant il doit passer pour un attardé à l'école. T'as mangé quoi ce matin? 14 céréales et 35 gouttes de lait.
But if you're looking for some entertainment, it'll be in the description, and you can also learn some slang for him. So those were 12, well actually 13 of my favorite YouTubers to watch in French. And if you happen to have any specific YouTuber you like to watch in French, please drop it in the comments below, because I feel like it is much harder to find interesting content in French than it is in Spanish. I don't know, just my opinion. But anyways, drop that in the comments below and we'll see each other in the next video.